Welcome back to First Take. Fernando Mendoza had a tough night against the Texans defense on Thursday, despite the Raiders winning 22-20 behind Aiden O'Connell late in the second half. Mendoza, the #1 overall pick, went 8 of 15 for 86 yards and an interception, with that welcome to the NFL moment happening on his first drive, courtesy of an 80-yard pick six by fellow rookie Wade Woodaz. As for the Texans, CJ Stroud played just one series but led a strong opening drive, went 4 of 6 for 27 yards, and guided a 10-play, 69-yard drive that ended with a touchdown run by Woody Marks. So short but efficient outing for the fourth-year quarterback. Both of these QBs using the preseason for different motivations, different reasons, both at different points of their career, Jordan. But as you take a look at the more notable performance from Thursday night, who does it belong to?
It's Fernando Mendoza. I think because on one hand, you saw the reason why he was the #1 overall pick. That first completion, right? Throwing with anticipation, timing, ball location, all things that are elite and maybe ahead of schedule for him. On the other hand, you saw reasons as to why Kirk Cousins should be starting week 1, and he still needs to develop when you look at the pick six, because 2 things happened on that play. The first is, I think he still needs to understand what open looks like in the NFL. There's 2 routes deep that I think both he could have pulled the trigger on, and he wouldn't have been wrong, right? So I think he saw that, didn't quite feel it was open. That's open in the NFL. The second thing is, the reason he threw the interception is because they snapped that ball on the right hash. When he threw that check down, he was on the left hash. And there was a nice, perfect little pocket, right? He drifted his way into pressure and then felt the pressure and tried to check it down late over the middle. Well, that's not a back over the middle throw if he steps up in the pocket and puts it right on the numbers, right? So little things that you start to see, okay, this is why this guy still needs to sit and develop, and Kirk Cousins should start week 1. But also, man, he's going to be really good when he's processing that quickly. His accuracy, anticipation is right there in just his second preseason game.
You were on Countdown last night, so you watched.
Who did Texas play week 1?
The Texans?
Yeah, somebody looked at it.
Well, we just did it.
Because for CJ, it don't matter.
Bills.
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah, it don't matter. Like, nothing will be notable until CJ play a real game.
Okay.
Like, we were all watching that game last night to see Fernando Mendoza, right? We knew he was going to start the first half. He's the first overall pick. Notable for CJ Stroud is going to be week 1 playing against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen standing on the other side, and people trying to determine if you are going to be good enough with this historical defense to have your name completely etched in this playoff run and have a chance to go play for a Super Bowl. And I think CJ is going to bounce back. But what I do believe about football, right, when you get to a certain point, it's about what you're doing when it matters. CJ's in that era. Like, what Fernando is doing in preseason, it matters. Like, he's in that phase of his career. CJ passed that. He had a great rookie season. We've talked about that. Every time he steps on the field against competition in real live games, that's what's going to be notable. And the thing for CJ this year is his performance is going to be more notable than anybody that he plays against. Don't matter, we talking about top 5 quarter. He's going to face Josh Allen week 1. We are going to talk about CJ Stroud's performance. Josh may make crazy plays and do phenomenal things, but if CJ play well, we're going to say, okay, step in the right direction. This is what we're looking to see from him as we go forward. Under the most pressure. So, yeah, CJ could have threw 17 touchdowns last night for 397 yards, and it don't matter. It's going to be week 1 against the Bills.
Kevin, how did you see it?
I was impressed with Fernando Mendoza. Despite the stat line, despite the pick six, I think we misunderstand rookie mistakes. I want to tell you a story. In Patrick Mahomes' second ever preseason game, he threw a bad interception, a really bad interception. And he tells the story that 3 years later, same route, same receiver, Sammy Watkins, he learned from that preseason interception to throw a touchdown in the freaking Super Bowl, okay? That is the kind of mile markers you're going for here, where you're saying, hey, I'm trying to clock this. When I used to go to Chiefs training camp practices, it was always, Mahomes threw 3 picks. Why? Because he was trying to figure out the speed of the game, test his limits. Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, he would always have these narratives, 5 training camp interceptions. I talked to Mike McCarthy, he'd say, he's trying to figure out if he can trust his receiver in the back of the end zone. That's all that is. And so I think a lot of times we look at this, Jalen Hurts is going through right now with all these joint practice training camp interceptions. A lot of times those interceptions are just speed bumps. They're just mile markers for the learning experience. So I liked the fact he was making NFL throws, trying NFL throws. If you want to run a bunch of bootlegs and hit the open tight end like Ty Simpson, go ahead. They could have made him look 9. They could have had him be 9 of 10 yesterday for 110 yards and say, look at those stats. They didn't want to do that. They wanted tight window throws.
Make real game throws. Yep.
Well, I mean, I think Clint Kubiak made those comments after the game because he was saying, listen, there's a pick six for my young quarterback. I don't want him to feel like this is going to become an issue or I'm overemphasizing that mistake. I think it was bigger for CJ Stroud, and I'll tell you why. Fernando Mendoza has an entire organization behind him. He's got Tom Brady behind him. He's got ownership behind him. He's got a new coach. He's got a bunch of players who are saying, what do we have to do to get you out there on the field to be the one, to be the quarterback of the future, to be our franchise guy? Even Kirk Cousins is there to be a part of that process. CJ Stroud is trying to prove that he can be the long-term solution for a team that has lost 3 games in the divisional round. And the last time we saw CJ Stroud, he threw 4 interceptions. And after that game, he didn't say, I let my team down, I let ownership down. He said, I let people down. This is the guy who has to build himself up one way or the other. And the most positive CJ Stroud I've seen in a long time was the guy last night after that game who said, we got out there, we got some good work, and he seemed like he was taking a step in the right direction. Fernando Mendoza, we might be talking about this through week 8, week 9, week 10, whether or not he's going to play. By week 2 with CJ Stroud, we might be having a conversation of, is this the guy of the future? Is this a guy who can lead the Houston Texans with that Super Bowl defense? More pressure on CJ Stroud. He needed something good to happen for him last night.
You know my favorite play from Stroud? No one will remember this. Not anybody that watched the game will remember this play. He was rolling out to the right. He had a receiver crossing kind of in front of him towards the sideline, and he threw it into the dirt. My favorite play. You know why? Because when you go back to that playoff game against the Pats, 3 of his 4 interceptions were his fault. One of them was tipped over the middle. Those 3 all came on first downs and all came on throws that he forced. Whether it was pressure on him on one, he's trying to throw a late throw as he's getting tackled, dirt the ball, get rid of it, move on, don't make a bad play worse. I think he felt the pressure last year with how good the defense was that he had to be the guy in the moment. Watching Caleb Williams do it, watching some of these young quarterbacks be the hero in big moments. I think he felt like he had to do that when really he just needs to manage the game. If he doesn't lose them games, this defense is good enough, and with what they've added in the run game, they're good enough to get to a championship if he is just good, not great.
I think a lot of it, too, man, just boils down to the makeup of the person. Like, this is what, for me, that's what it's about for CJ Stroud. Like, because one thing is the confidence that he can carry forward is that he's played at a high level in this league. He's had those moments where you look at him and say, that's a franchise quarterback that's going to get $250 million, right? Those moments have happened for CJ Stroud. You look at Houston and where they were before CJ Stroud showed up. If we go back, because, Kev, you love talking about the history of certain guys. If we go back, it wasn't until late in the playoffs where people realized CJ Stroud had a lot of things that we were questioning. Athleticism to move out of the pocket, went toe-to-toe at the quarterback position, played at a very high level. He was not the reason we felt like Ohio State lost the football game that they played in. So, again, he came in with these expectations by now to be a franchise quarterback based on the things that he did late in his college career. The other thing is this, too. Like, and I know this. From a defensive standpoint, to your point, Jay, with the pressure, right? You looking at guys like Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, and every time the TV comes on, we talking about a historical defense, and they devastating, and they all of that. How much of you internally want to assert yourself in that conversation?
Sure,
right?
I can win the game.
Exactly, like thinking but I still can score 30. I still can throw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards because I've done it before. And to your point, Jay, like he's going to have to curtail that and understand that, yeah, there may be times where that's a necessity. But there may be times, to your point, where I got to throw it in the dirt and just allow myself.
And I throw for 185 yards and 1 touchdown.
And allow myself and not worry about, because if CJ Stroud would have did what you said against the New England Patriots and they win, he'd have $285 million right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, like he has to make sure, my point is he has to make sure he doesn't go into this season competing with elements around him, right? Just play the game. Play it like freely, understand what you're doing, and move forward. If it's 185 and 1 touchdown and we rush for 200, great. Because that's still going to get you $300 million as a quarterback. He has to understand that and take that pressure off himself because there's going to be enough coming from us.
He's got a prime opportunity to do that starting week 1 with the Buffalo Bills. All right, time now for a quick take. Check out Baylor School's David Gabriel Georges, a 5-star recruit flipping
he going
over
he
a
going to
defender.
LSU.
Somehow he stays on his
I'm
feet
just
during this. Kevin, I know you're very high on this young running back. Your reaction to this play?
Well, reports from the last couple of months, Courtney, are that this is going to be the highest paid running back in the history of college football. He's going to University of Tennessee, and looking at this contact balance, Swagoo, well worth every single penny.
You know what's crazy last night when I was watching him? I don't know why I was randomly watching this, but I was. I think because Manning's son, playing quarterback.
Marshall.
I look at the running back jump out. It reminds me of Leonard Fournette.
Ooh,
High school.
Good
That's
comparison.
A big physical running back, enough home run speed.
He got his legs taken out, did a one-hand handstand, and popped back up.
Yeah, man. And he had multiple of these.
Yes, he did.
It wasn't just.
Yes.
I think he can do this, though, not to this degree, but in the SEC, when you look at this, maybe not in the NFL, but he's going to be able to do this against the SEC defense.
I'm telling you right now, the way I always look at the build of a running back.
Yeah, he's built.
He's got it. He got the physical makeup to be a dominant back.
What are we doing?
I always look at the speed. Like for big guys, and that's what Fournette was doing. At St. Augustine High School in New Orleans, he get in the open, it's over. And that's a locomotive.
He took official visits to Ohio State and Ole Miss, and he's the type of guy where for 3 years, Ole Miss fans and Ohio State fans are going to be saying, we should have paid the bag.
Yeah.
We should have paid the bag.
They can still pay.
Why he ain't go visit LSU, Kev?
Not yet.
Shoot, he
Not
can get
yet.
to the
That's on you. That's on you. Get your
You
money
better
up,
believe he's
Swagoo.
getting a few more phone calls after this.
Yeah,
That thing
another
starts
deal's coming.
circulating.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's going to be in on him.
Yeah, come on.
All right.